The Galactic Council had seen many things in their 10,000 years of existence. They had witnessed the rise and fall of countless civilizations, observed the birth of new technologies that defied comprehension, and mediated conflicts between species so alien that communication required quantum translators. But nothing, absolutely nothing, had prepared them for humanity's latest revelation. Admiral Zexthyra of the Altarian fleet clicked her mandibles nervously as she reviewed the intelligence reports floating before her holographic display. The sleek obsidian chamber of the Council's war room buzzed with nervous energy from representatives of 47 different species, each more bewildered than the last. "This cannot be accurate," growled General Thorak, his 6 arms gesticulating wildly. The Krillian's natural aggression was barely contained within his exoskeleton. No species builds vessels of this magnitude. The resource requirements alone would bankrupt an entire star system. Commander Velnas, a being of pure energy contained within a crystalline housing, pulsed with skeptical light patterns. The humans have been in space for barely 2 centuries. Their largest vessels were destroyers and crewed battleships. This changes everything. Admiral Zexthyra manipulated the hologram, rotating the massive structure that dominated the display. The human vessel, if it could even be called that, stretched across 17 kilometers of space. Its hull bristled with weapon systems that defied conventional naval architecture, and its interior bay could accommodate what appeared to be an entire fleet. "They call it the Prometheus Unbound," she said, her voice carrying the weight of disbelief. "Our intelligence suggests it houses not hundreds, but thousands of smaller craft. The humans have essentially created a mobile city capable of projecting force across multiple star systems simultaneously." The room fell silent except for the ambient hum of the station's life support systems. Representatives from species that had dominated galactic warfare for millennia struggled to comprehend the implications. But what truly unsettled the Council wasn't the Supercarrier's size. It was how quietly humanity had built it. 3 months earlier, the first sighting had come from a routine patrol near the Epsilon Eridani system. A Valaxian scout ship had detected massive gravitational anomalies and gone to investigate, expecting to find a rogue planet or perhaps debris from an ancient battle. Instead, they found humanity's secret. The Prometheus Unbound had been conducting what humans called fleet exercises. The scout ship's captain, a veteran of 47 campaigns, had watched in stunned silence as the Supercarrier disgorged wave after wave of fighters, bombers, and support vessels. The human fleet that emerged could have conquered most sector capitals single-handedly. What made it more remarkable was that the humans seemed to treat this as routine training. "The psychology reports are equally disturbing," continued Admiral Zexthyra, pulling up another display. "Our xenopsychologists can't understand their approach to warfare. Most species build fleets to project power, to intimidate enemies, or to defend territory. Humans seem to build them because they enjoy the engineering challenge." She highlighted a section of intercepted human communications. "Listen to this transmission from their fleet admiral. Beautiful day for a shakedown cruise, isn't it? Let's see if we can get all fighter wings deployed in under 6 minutes this time." They're treating the deployment of a force capable of glassing a planet like a recreational activity. The implications sent ripples of unease through the assembled representatives. The hegemony of worlds had spent centuries carefully balancing power between various species. The delicate equilibrium that maintained galactic peace depended on no single race gaining overwhelming military superiority. "There's more," Admiral Zexthyra said grimly. "Our intelligence sources suggest this isn't their only supercarrier. Humans refer to something called Fleet Group 7 in their communications. If their naming conventions follow standard patterns, they have at least 7 of these monsters," whispered General Thorak, his aggression replaced by something approaching awe. Commander Velnas dimmed to a worried amber. "How did we miss this?" Our surveillance networks monitor every major shipyard in human space. That's perhaps the most disturbing aspect, the Admiral replied. They didn't build it in a shipyard. Our analysis suggests they constructed it in deep space, using mobile construction platforms and asteroid mining operations. They essentially industrialized empty space and built a fleet in the void between stars. The revelation struck at the heart of everything the galactic community thought they knew about space-based civilization. Every other species built infrastructure around planets, moons, or at least within established star systems. Humans had simply decided that space itself was infrastructure. The question before us, Admiral Zex Thyra continued, is how we respond to this development. Humanity hasn't made any aggressive moves. They've honored all existing treaties and continue to participate in council proceedings, but the balance of power has fundamentally shifted. General Thorak's laugh was harsh and bitter. Balance? What balance? If they have 7 of these vessels, they could subjugate half the galaxy before we could mount a coordinated response. Perhaps, said a new voice from the chamber's entrance. The representatives turned to see Ambassador Sarah Chen, humanity's liaison to the Galactic Council, walking calmly into the war room. She was smiling. That peculiar human expression that other species had learned could mean anything from friendship to imminent violence. Ambassador Chen, Admiral Zexathira said carefully. We weren't expecting— Oh, we know about your emergency session, Sarah interrupted pleasantly. Your intelligence networks aren't as subtle as you think. We've been monitoring your communications for months. The chamber erupted in indignant clicks, growls, and energy pulses. Sarah waited patiently for the noise to subside. You want to know about our supercarriers? Here's what you need to understand. We didn't build them to conquer anyone. We built them because we got tired of other species telling us what we couldn't do. She gestured toward the holographic display of the Prometheus Unbound. 200. Years ago, you told us humans were too aggressive for space exploration. 50 years ago, you said we couldn't master faster-than-light travel. 20 years ago, you claimed our industrial capacity was too limited for major shipbuilding projects. Sarah's smile grew wider, and several representatives unconsciously stepped back. We took those assessments as challenges rather than limitations. So yes, we have supercarriers. We have deep space construction capabilities you can't imagine. And we have technologies that make your current understanding of warfare obsolete. She paused, letting the implications sink in. But here's the part that should really worry you. We built all of this while maintaining our treaty obligations and participating in your council. Imagine what we could accomplish if we actually decided you were a threat. The silence that followed was absolute. Ambassador Chen nodded politely to the assembled representatives. The Prometheus Unbound will be conducting another training exercise next week near Alpha Centauri. You're welcome to observe. Try to keep up. As she left the chamber, Admiral Zex Thyra realized that humanity had just redefined what it meant to be a galactic power. They hadn't conquered through force or intimidation. They had simply outgrown everyone else's definition of impossible. The age of human dominance hadn't begun with a declaration of war. It had begun with an invitation to watch them practice.